What if the most beloved nut in America, the one in your trail mix, your almond butter, your morning milk, could grow right outside your front door? Most people picture vast California orchards when they think about almonds, and while California does grow the majority of the country's commercial crop, the truth is that home gardeners across a much wider range of the United States can successfully grow their own almond trees. If you have the right climate, a patch of sunny ground, or even a large container, and the willingness to invest a little time in the beginning, growing an almond tree at home is one of the most satisfying decisions you will ever make in your garden. Today, we are going to walk through everything from choosing the right variety and preparing your soil, all the way through light, temperature, watering, fertilizing, pruning, solving common problems, and enjoying your very own homegrown harvest. This guide is built for complete beginners, and by the end you will know exactly what to do and exactly where to start. The almond tree, known scientifically as Prunus dulcis, is a deciduous tree that belongs to the same family as peaches, cherries, and plums. Native to the Middle East and South Asia, it has been cultivated for thousands of years and carries a rich history as one of humanity's most ancient and cherished food sources. Almond trees are beautiful in every season. They produce some of the most stunning spring blossoms of any fruit-bearing tree, with pale pink to white flowers that burst from bare branches even before the leaves emerge. In summer, the long narrow leaves create a graceful, airy canopy. In fall, the hulls split open to reveal the familiar tan shells inside. And in winter, the bare sculptural branches have their own quiet elegance. This is not just a food tree. It is a landscape tree worth growing for its beauty alone. Before diving into the growing process, it is essential to understand where almond trees thrive in the United States and whether your climate is suitable. Almonds perform best in USDA hardiness zones 7 through 9, though some cold hardy varieties extend that range into zone 5 or 6 with careful site selection. The key climate requirements are warm, dry summers, mild winters with enough cold hours to satisfy the tree's chilling requirement, and late springs without hard freezes after blossoming, because almond trees bloom early, often in February or March, and late frost is their primary weather enemy. California, Arizona, Texas, the Pacific Northwest lowlands, parts of the Southeast, and much of the mid-Atlantic coast all offer workable climates. In colder or wetter regions, selecting cold hardy or late blooming varieties and providing frost protection during bloom dramatically improves your chances of success. Variety selection is one of the most important decisions you will make, and it is worth taking time to research what is available before you buy. The classic commercial varieties like Nonpareil produce excellent nuts but require cross-pollination from a second compatible variety. Self-fertile varieties, on the other hand, can produce a full crop without a pollination partner, making them ideal for home gardeners with limited space. All-in-One is one of the most popular self-fertile almonds for home gardens in the United States. A semi-dwarf tree that produces sweet, soft-shelled nuts and handles a wider range of conditions than commercial varieties. Tuono is another self-fertile option with excellent cold tolerance and late bloom timing that helps it dodge spring frosts. Garden Prince is a beautiful semi-dwarf, self-fertile variety well-suited to container growing. Knowing your zone and space constraints before purchasing your tree sets you up for success from day one. Soil preparation is the foundation that everything else is built on, and almond trees have clear preferences that you need to respect. Almonds absolutely require well-draining soil. This is the single most important soil characteristic and a non-negotiable requirement. Almonds planted in soil that stays wet or drains poorly are susceptible to root and crown rot diseases that can kill an otherwise healthy tree. Sandy loam or loamy soils with excellent drainage are ideal. If your native soil is heavy clay, amend it generously with coarse sand, perlite, and organic matter before planting, or build a raised mound or raised bed to elevate the tree above the drainage problem. The ideal soil pH for almond trees is between 6.0 and 7.5, slightly acidic to neutral. A simple soil test from your local garden center or county extension office will tell you where your soil stands and whether amendments are needed before planting. Planting an almond tree correctly gives it the best possible start and sets the stage for years of healthy growth. The best time to plant is late winter or very early spring, while the tree is still dormant. In most parts of the United States, this allows the roots to begin establishing in cool, moist soil before the heat of summer arrives. Dig your planting hole 2 to 3 times the width of the root ball and roughly the same depth. If you are planting a bare root tree, which is common with almonds and often available from nurseries in late winter, spread the roots out naturally in the hole without bending or circling them. Position the graft union, the slight swelling or offset near the base of the trunk, a few inches above the final soil surface. Backfill with the native soil, firm gently to eliminate air pockets, water deeply, and apply a wide ring of organic mulch, keeping it a few inches away from the trunk itself. Light is one area where almond trees are genuinely demanding, and meeting this requirement is critical to tree health and nut production. Almond trees need full sun, a minimum of 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight daily, and more is always better. In their native habitat, almonds grow in open, sunny, Mediterranean-type landscapes with intense light exposure throughout the growing season. Shaded conditions produce weak, unproductive trees prone to disease and poor fruit set. When choosing a planting site in your yard, identify the sunniest available location, ideally a south or southwest-facing open area away from the shade of buildings, fences, or larger trees. For container growers, a south-facing patio, rooftop, or driveway that receives the maximum possible daily sun is the target. If you are growing indoors during winter months, supplement with full-spectrum grow lights to prevent the tree from becoming weak and stressed in low-light conditions. Temperature management is another critical factor, and understanding your local climate's relationship with almond flowering is essential to avoiding heartbreak at blossom time. Almond trees need a period of winter chilling, typically between 200 and 500 hours, at temperatures between 32 and 45 degrees Fahrenheit. To break dormancy properly and produce a full spring bloom, most parts of zones 7 through 9 provide adequate chilling hours naturally. In very warm winter climates, like coastal Southern California or South Florida, insufficient chilling can result in poor bloom and reduced yields. Choosing a low-chill variety for warm winter areas solves this problem elegantly. On the other end of the spectrum, the real temperature danger for almonds is late spring frost hitting the open blossoms. A single freezing night during bloom can eliminate your entire nut crop for that year. Monitoring weather forecasts and having frost cloth or a portable water mist system ready during bloom provides meaningful protection. Watering an almond tree correctly is one of the skills that separates thriving trees from struggling ones, and the principles are both simple and important to follow consistently. Young almond trees in their first 2 years need regular, deep watering to establish a strong, extensive root system. Water newly planted trees once or twice per week during the growing season, always watering deeply enough to wet the soil well below the surface root zone. This encourages roots to grow downward rather than remaining shallow and vulnerable. As the tree establishes over its second and third years, you can gradually reduce watering frequency while maintaining the deep watering practice. The goal is to allow the soil to dry, partially between waterings at the surface. While keeping deeper soil moisture consistent, established almond trees are among the most drought-tolerant of all nut trees, a characteristic that makes them exceptionally well-suited to the dry summers of California and other western states. However, drought tolerance does not mean drought preference. For optimum production, established trees benefit from deep watering every 2 to 3 weeks during the growing season, with an increase in frequency during nut development in summer and a reduction leading into dormancy in fall. The most critical irrigation windows are at bud swell in early spring, during hull split in late summer, and during kernel development in midsummer. Missing irrigation during these specific growth stages can result in smaller nuts, hull split problems, or premature drop. Installing a drip irrigation system at the tree's drip line is the most efficient and effective way To manage, watering for both young establishing trees and mature producing ones. Fertilizing almond trees correctly supports vigorous growth. Abundant flowering and generous nut production throughout the tree's productive life. Young trees in their first 2 to 3 years benefit from a balanced fertilizer, something in a 10-10-10 or similar ratio, applied 2 to 3 times during the growing season from early spring through midsummer. This balanced nutrition supports the simultaneous development of a strong root system, healthy trunk growth, and the establishment of the scaffold branch structure that will support future crops. Avoid fertilizing after midsummer on young trees. Late-season nitrogen stimulates tender new growth that is vulnerable to early fall frost damage. As the tree matures and enters production, typically in its 3rd to 5th year after planting, shift the fertilizer emphasis toward nitrogen in early spring. To support the flush of growth and bloom that follows winter dormancy, mature producing almond trees are relatively heavy nitrogen feeders compared to many other backyard trees. A common recommendation for established trees is to apply 1 pound of actual nitrogen per year of tree age up to a maximum of around 1 pound per mature tree, split between 2 applications, one in late winter before bud break and one in early summer after the initial growth flush. Organic sources of nitrogen such as blood meal, feather meal, composted chicken manure, and fish meal work extremely well with almond trees and improve soil biology over time. Always water thoroughly after fertilizing to move nutrients into the root zone and prevent fertilizer burn. Testing your soil every 2 to 3 years helps you fine-tune your fertilizer program and identify any micronutrient deficiencies. Zinc is particularly important for almonds and commonly deficient in alkaline western soils. Pruning is one of the most impactful practices for almond tree health, structure, and productivity. And getting the basics right from the beginning saves years of corrective work later. In the first 3 years after planting, pruning focuses entirely on building a strong, open scaffold structure. The most popular training system for almond trees is the open center or vase system, which removes the central leader and develops 3 to 5 main scaffold branches that spread outward and upward from a low trunk. This open architecture allows maximum light penetration into the canopy, reduces disease pressure by improving air circulation, and makes the tree easier to harvest. Select your scaffold branches in the first year or 2 and remove competing growth, crossing branches, and any shoots growing toward the center of the tree. Mature almond trees benefit from annual dormant pruning, performed in late winter, after the coldest weather has passed, but before bud swell begins. The goals of annual pruning are to remove dead, diseased, or damaged wood, thin out crowded interior growth to maintain the open canopy, and stimulate the production of new fruiting wood. Because almond nuts develop on short fruiting spurs and 1-year-old wood, removing roughly 20% of the canopy annually keeps the tree productive and prevents the fruiting zone from migrating out to the branch tips, where it becomes difficult to harvest and harder for the tree to support. Always use clean, sharp pruning tools and make cuts at the correct angle just outside the branch collar. Painting large cut surfaces with wound sealant is no longer recommended by most arborists, as it can actually trap moisture and encourage disease. Common problems in almond growing are manageable once you know what to look for and understand the underlying causes. Brown rot blossom blight is the most serious fungal disease affecting almonds in humid climates, causing blossoms and young shoots to turn brown and wilt during wet spring weather. Preventing brown rot begins with selecting disease-resistant varieties, ensuring good air circulation through proper pruning, and applying preventative copper fungicide sprays at pink bud stage in regions where the disease is prevalent. Hull rot is another fungal issue that affects maturing hulls in late summer, causing premature splitting and nut drop. Managing irrigation carefully during hull split and maintaining balanced nutrition reduces hull rot incidence significantly. Pest problems in almond trees include the peach twig borer, navel orangeworm, and shot hole borer, each of which has specific management strategies. Peach twig borers attack new shoot growth and can be managed with dormant oil sprays, applied just before bud break in late winter. Navel orangeworm infests nuts through the hull split opening and overwinters in mummified nuts left on the tree. Removing all mummified nuts from the tree and the ground at the end of each season is the single most effective management practice. Spider mites can be a problem during hot, dry summers, causing a dusty, stippled appearance on leaves. Maintaining adequate soil moisture and avoiding dusty conditions around the tree helps keep mite populations in check. Scale insects on the bark respond well to dormant oil applications in late winter. A healthy, well-maintained almond tree, in the right growing conditions, resists most pest and disease pressure naturally. Harvesting your homegrown almonds is a genuinely exciting milestone that typically arrives in late summer to early fall, usually August through October. Depending on your climate and variety, the signal that harvest time has come is hull split. The green, leathery outer hull begins to crack open and pull back from the inner shell. For home gardeners, the easiest harvest method is to lay a tarp or old sheet under the tree and shake the branches, or use a long pole to knock ripe nuts free. The hulls should separate or be removed by hand, and the inner nuts in their shells should then be spread out in a single layer to dry. Drying is critical. Almond kernels need to dry thoroughly before storage to prevent mold. Spread them in a warm, dry, well-ventilated location for 1 to 2 weeks, stirring occasionally, until the kernels rattle freely inside the shells when shaken. Once properly dried, almonds in the shell keep for up to a year in a cool, dry storage location. Shelled almond kernels keep for several months at room temperature in an airtight container, and up to 2 years when stored in the refrigerator or freezer. The flavor of homegrown almonds fresh from the tree and properly dried has a sweetness, richness, and freshness that commercial almonds simply cannot match. They have not traveled thousands of miles, been processed through industrial facilities, or sat in storage for months. Eating your first handful of homegrown almonds is one of those genuinely satisfying moments that reminds you exactly why growing your own food is worth every drop of effort invested. Growing an almond tree is a long-term relationship. These trees live and produce for 20 to 50 years with proper care, and the investment you make in the beginning pays dividends for decades. In year 1 and 2, you are building the root system and scaffold structure. In year 3 and 4, you begin to see the first small crops. By year 5 to 7, a well-cared-for almond tree is producing meaningful harvests that will supply your kitchen with fresh nuts season after season. Every spring, the spectacular pink and white blossom display is a reward in itself, filling your yard with color and fragrance before most other trees have even considered waking up from winter. If you have been waiting for the right moment to plant an almond tree, let this be the guide that gives you the knowledge and confidence to start. Whether you are planting in the warm valleys of California, the mid-Atlantic Piedmont, the Texas Hill Country, or the protected microclimates of the Pacific Northwest, or growing a container almond on a sunny northern patio, the principles in this guide give you a clear, proven path to success. Choose the right variety for your zone, give the tree excellent drainage and full sustain, water deeply and consistently, fertilize thoughtfully, prune with purpose, and address problems early. Do those things, and an almond tree will reward you with beauty every spring and nourishment every fall for as long as you tend it. There is no better time than now to plant the tree whose shade and harvest you will enjoy for the rest of your gardening life. If you love learning about seasonal flowering plants, gardening tips, and nature care, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Nature Nurture Hub, your home for year-round garden inspiration. Let's keep growing together.